Yes, please be seated. Twelfth year of Chanilguk in the year Kapjin, especially for today. Heaven has given us unlimited, overflowing blessing and love to us. The cosmos is in an eternal darkness, but it will be all cleared up. And with pure water, clean, pure water, all of you, heaven's love for all of you here, the pure love. The world is covered in pure white snow, which was not there before. And so while I was coming down from Cheonjeonggung to the training center, as I was looking out to the nature, heaven has dedicated, has waited so long for this day, this today, and it has longed to be with children in happiness, but has waited so long. That's what I felt while I was coming down here. The Creator has a dream. After having created the creation, He created Adam and Eve, who were supposed to be the ancestors of humankind, and afterwards has given a growth period especially for human beings, so that they themselves on their own could grow into perfection, and has waited for such perfected man and woman. However, because that did not come to fruit, the human history, the 6,000 years of human history, the providential human history of 6,000 years, not a single day we could not see peace, not for a single day of that 6,000 years, and it has been tainted with war and poverty, and every day innocent lives are being lost. And looking at this reality, the Creator's dream centered on the principle of creation, the dream must be realized. Heaven had to lead the providence of restoration, and within the fallen humanity had to send Jesus, the only begotten Son, who heaven could call as my Son. And it took 4,000 years for such Son to come to earth. However, after even even though Mary bore Jesus, she did not understand. She did not understand the did not understand the role of Jesus, and none of them was aligned with Jesus. That's why Jesus said he will return on the cross. And Christianity began from the disciples of Jesus. But the disciples themselves, they understood that Jesus said he will return. And that's what they were waiting for that. And they did not understand why he said that and what Jesus would want to do, he would want to accomplish when he returned. That is, the disciples and the Christianity did not understand that. That's why in Christian history they made many mistakes. That's why the religious reformation had to happen. And through so instead of living a life of faith centered on their church, based on the Christian Catholic traditions, heaven desired more free form of faith, were centered on the family and centered on the individual longing to worship. And centered on these individual desires to freely attend heaven, the religious reformation happened. But the Puritan movement, their efforts allowed, and they're the ones who went to the new continent, America, and they created when they arrived in the new continent, they created the church first. Then they built a school to educate the next generation. Then they built the houses that they would live in. That is why they lived a life where they want to worship heaven first. And centered on this dedication, heaven blessed America as the representative nation of a democracy. This is to create the foundation centered on Jesus' words of to return. Because when he returned, there cannot be any more mistakes, any more failures. That is why beyond the era centered on a king, era of kingdom, into an era of democracy. And after the First and the Second World War has ended, many nations declare their independence. That is why Protestant church expanded throughout the world, and at that time, Jesus' wish to return and to participate in the marriage lamb supper. And because Jesus could not return centered on the Israelites, since they had indemnity left as a people. That is why heaven has prepared the people in the East who has been attending heaven for a very long time. And in that Korean peninsula and Korean people, that is why in 1943 has sent the only begotten daughter to the Korean peninsula, through the Korean people. The only begotten daughter she, since birth, already knew heaven as her parent and has grown up knowing this truth. I myself did not have any teachers. Heavenly Parent is the only person that I had. The only thing that I had. That is why I myself, where I am fully responsible for my own growth. And heaven has waited for such time. All the youth here do not understand, but then those who are in their 80s know. Korea was in the imperial control of Japan, and through the World War, Korea was split between North and South, between democracy and communism, and I was in North Korea at that time. Those many people were participating in the independence movement. Their purpose for the independence movement in the North sided with the Soviet, and those in the South aligned themselves with the UN forces. Looking at the situation then, the North had Kim Il-sung, just one person, and centered on him, they all united, and they were preparing to invade the South. But because the South, there were many famous independence movement fighters. And because there were many key people in the independence movement, they were a little bit unorganized. And using this, the North Korea was preparing to invade to the South. That is why in 1950, the Korean War began. At that time, I was in the North, but because heaven's protection and guidance, I traveled down to the south in 1948. So after I have 2 years after I have arrived at South Korea, the Korean War began. But at this time, looking at father's mission, at the age of 16, he received his mission from Jesus, and the mission that Jesus could not accomplish on earth. Please fulfill it in my stead. That's the mission that True Father received. What that means is that he has the responsibility of a second advent. The person who has the mission of a second advent until he meets the only begotten daughter, he should not have had a family on his own accord. That event happened while Father was in the south, but heaven has told to Father to go to the north at that time. Why did heaven give such direction? While after arriving in North Korea, while witnessing, he went to Hungnam prison, and then through the efforts of the UN forces, he was able to come to the South Korea again. And in Busan, he wrote the original divine principle. Has created and began the Holy Spirit Association for Unification of World Christianity. In 1960, March 16th, the date was given by heaven. Even though True Father received this date, it's not his responsibility to choose his bride. That is why no matter who he decided, it didn't work out. And in that sense, the day before such date, there was no bride. At that date, I was a student. I was living in the dormitory. Someone that I knew came to me and said, "Your mother is very sick, so please come home." So when I got home, I realized that it's not that my mother is very sick. True Father was in a critical situation. He had received a date of a great importance, a great celebration, but he did not have a bride. Looking at that situation, I, having lived my life of 17 years, knowing heaven, understanding that I had of heaven at that time knew that heaven could not delay the providence any longer and was asking for my help. That is why I made the commitment, made the decision. I understood that there's no one else other than me, and that I had to do it in order to realize heaven's dream and the fulfillment of the completion of the providence. I understood this. That's why I made the decision that I will do it. Think about it, all of you here. I am 17, but my future groom, my groom is 40. It's not easy, right? However, because I understood the heart, the dream of heaven, that's why I made the decision. That is why 1960, March 16th, the true parents were born. That is why many blessed families were born afterwards through true parents. However, true parents, the completion of the providence, only begotten daughter who's supposed to see the completion of the providence, true mother, I was not able to say that I was the only begotten daughter as true mother, because it's not my responsibility to say, it's the responsibility of my partner. The 53-year history of the Unification Church is providence of the wilderness centered on the men. The principle of creation is through man and a woman, through the only begotten son and only begotten daughter. That is why the 53-year history of the Unification Church is the history of the wilderness. They could only build tents for worship. That is why heaven who began the foundation day. Heaven told me to begin the foundation day. And the proclaiming 천일국, in order to see the settlement and the completion of 천일국, I had to show the world. That's why in HA Chanwon, the victorious true parents, a place where a victorious true parents here on earth could live with their children in attendance with heavenly parent. And creating such an environment, we needed to create a palace where heavenly parent could live here on earth. But not one person understood the position that I was in. The government of this nation, they did not cooperate. They're not cooperative. If a unification church says they're going to build a palace, no one would approve. That's why we had to convince them by saying we're building a museum. That's why externally, because we need to expand this, the original intent and dream of heavenly parents. That's why going out to the world with the mission, with a mission. That is why I headed to Africa, which was in the most difficult situation, and on top of that, I decided to go to a Muslim nation, which was Senegal. And after after going there, the first thing that I said was I proclaimed that I am the only begotten daughter. This is in front of the president of that nation and president of the religious leaders. I explained to the heaven's providence, and I told them that I'm the only begotten daughter. But they said they welcomed me, and they became my sons. And because I needed to restore Christianity as well, that's why the Archbishop Undanga and Prophet Radebe,
400만 이상의 신도를 갖고 있는
they have members over 4
그 지도자 앞에서
million.
나는
That's why in front of them, I told them that I am the only begotten daughter,
독생애를 선포해라.
and it's your responsibility to proclaim that I am the only begotten daughter. And they accepted and they proclaimed that your mother is the only begotten daughter. The Muslim, they know that at the end, they know that the providence is completed through the only begotten daughter. That's why their religion must accept the only begotten daughter, and they want to record it in their scripture.
지금까지 타락한 인류 역사는
The fallen human history was brought about through centered on the man. That's why every single day was tainted with war.
종교도 마찬가지야.
The religions was in the same position.
모든 종교도 남성 위주로 나왔어.
All religions were centered on the man.
창조주의 창조 원칙은
The Creator's principle of creation
쌍인데
is in pairs.
이제 나로 말미암아
So through me,
기독교가 풀지 못했던 모든 종교들이 풀지 못했던
the unsolved mysteries by all religions and even Christianity, the completion of the providence, heaven's providence,
이 인류 역사를 종식시킬 수 있는
the end of the history of fallen humanity. You cannot do that with only a man.
우주의 어머니,
You need a mother of the universe, mother of peace. The only begotten daughter, they could become one.
그 남자는 씨를 가지고 있다 하지만은
The man has the seeds.
생명의 탄생은
Beginning of life
하는 거야.
is through the mother.
어머니로 말미암아
Through the
생명의
mother,
탄생이 돼.
a new life begins, is born.
그걸 알아야 돼.
That's what you have to understand.
인류 역사도 타락한 인류 역사도
The human history, the fallen human history, at the end,
독생녀
the
우주의 어머니
only begotten daughter, the mother of the universe,
하나의 어머니로 말미암아
the mother of peace, through
엇그러진
the
잘못된 것이
only begotten daughter,
하나
all those mistakes
풀고
will
정리가
be
되어
solved and will be organized.
하늘 부모님 모신 인류 한 가족의 세계는
The
반드시 이루어진다.
that and through this reorganization, heaven's dream of one family under God will be realized.
거기에 내가 제일 먼저 아버님 성화 후에
That is why after Father's holy
팔아가지고
ascension, the first thing that I did after selling the helicopter, what did I do? What's the first thing that I did? I started the One More Scholarship Foundation,
너희들을
and
교육하는 데
I
썼지.
I used the funds to educate you.
너희들은 참 부모에 의해서
You, all of you here, are through true parents
통해서 태어난
who were blessed by your parents, and you're born pure waters,
그
born
표
through true parents and your parents.
이 상태에 있어서는 안 돼.
The pure water cannot be stagnant. They must to continually flow.
더 넓은
They need to flow to the higher, the further world.
너희들 표 워터들로 인해서
What that means is that
세계가
through you, the pure water, the fallen
두 나라
world, fallen humanity,
너희들을 통해서
the
정화가
through you, the pure water, one nation, two nation, three nation, they will be purified, and the world will understand,
모실 수 있는
will know about true parents and create an environment to attend heavenly parent. Isn't that the heaven on earth that we talk about?
여기서 중요한 것은
What is important here is that I believe in you and I love all of you, and I have raised all of you as this special treasure. But the problem is that here on earth, while true parents are here on earth,
하늘 부모님을 모시는 환경권을
we have to
넘어서
we have to expand the environment in which where we could attend heavenly parent, and
너희도 가서
the realm of
참 부모
heaven on earth has to expand so that true parents.
80살이
No.
넘었으니까
And as you know, I myself is past 80.
살아야 얼마를 더 살까?
So as you know, I do not have that many years, and there will be a time that I will be going to heaven, and in preparation of that, that's why all of you here, the pure water will align with me, become one with me, to create environment, expand the environment where heaven, where we could attend heaven. And I want to tell Heavenly Parent that through all of you, we have expanded the environment where we can attend heaven to such a big degree, and reached 8 billion people around the world.
그렇게 해 줄 거지?
You guys will do this for me, right?
얼마나
I am,
기다렸던
or this moment has been awaited.
아름다운 우렁찬 목소리인가?
The,
고맙다.
the voices, your beautiful voices that heaven has awaited for such a long time. So let us give a big round of applause to True Mother.
Yes, everyone. Let us send a warm round of applause to True Mother. Yes. Indeed, we were able to respond to Mother with a huge, huge round of applause. So after going through the order of the program, what particularly young members from South America, there have been more like, this is the first time you've seen so much snow actually pile up, like 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. So I feel like this is really God's
이 선물이야.
blessing. However, today, a Heavenly Top Gun this is the day you're embarking on your overseas mission work, and so just to send you onto your mission work just after this program doesn't seem sufficient. So to all of you, with the hope that you all will all become one, I want you to be able to spend time to become one, and I believe that such a time is the best game is a youth game, actually, to really show and become one, to form good unity. Therefore, I would like to ask the Korean headquarters, so different places actually send their support. I also have some money, so that's why we were able to, come up with a good lump sum for the youth game. So I hope you can enjoy the game. Thank you. Let us give a warm round of applause to our True Mother to express our gratitude. Thank you so much, True Mother. Yes, everyone. I feel like a mother's heart is a heart that wants to give and give and give continuously to her children, and I believe that is definitely Wang Oma's mother, and gifts keep continuing coming out. Again, from the beginning of this year, mother also went to America, and she visited the Death Valley during her visit in America, and while she was there, there was a lot of water, rain that poured, and then after that there was actually really clean salt as a result of the